Today's project will require a bag of bones, which I will link in the description below. This particular bag of bones does come with a skull. It's pretty good, but I'm going to be using one of my favorite prop skulls. I will link that video in the description as well. We're only going to be using this upper portion. We will use zip ties to put this together a little later on in the video. We are going to be corpsing all of these pieces. I will link my corpsing video in the description below. I apologize, I'm not going to be doing another step-by-step tutorial here. Check out that link in the description. It will give you everything you need from beginning to end for this process. Huge shout out to Ray K from Restless Hill Cemetery. He actually hit me up, man, probably late winter this year, maybe early spring, with regard to this bag of bones. No, I'm not typically a bag of bones type of guy, but what got us sort of psyched about this was that it came with a rib cage. I've never seen that in a bag of bones, and it's really light material. So yeah, I actually have a few different builds that I'm going to be doing hopefully this year for you guys, just because of the weight alone. I have tried builds like this with a box store type of a skelly that really bogs a reindeer motor down. So to have super light material like this is awesome. So again, man, Ray, huge shout out. Thanks, dude. I think I had mentioned in the original corpsing video that, once you get past that first layer, it's just rinse and repeat. You're going to do the same process over I usually stick to 3 to 4 layers. And once I get past that first layer is when I typically will start spray paints in between. So I tend to stick to earth tone kind of colors, the greens, browns, blacks, some grays in there as well. But yeah, just in between layers of light dusting makes for a great effect. And here you can see that hint of green, but you also see the color of the silicone as well as the pantyhose behind. At this point, you can see I'm starting to tear it up just a little bit, poke some holes here and there. And next on to the arms. Same process, guys. We're just working in layers here. Take your time. We will be doing the hands next, and my favorite part always is the skull. I really enjoy that piece. And on to the hands. Super easy. Just take the end of the stocking and cut it to length, apply the glue, and slip it over like you're putting a sock on. That's it, guys. And then just run the same process. Let it go maybe a day for it to really cure, and then go back with a pair of scissors and cut in between each of those fingers, and you're good. All right, so this is what we have so far. What do you guys think? Same process for the skull. 3M spray, pull the stocking portion over the skull, slit holes for the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and you can curl the pantyhose up there and make little decomposed lips. Looks awesome on these. How awesome does this look? I mean, this would look killer just lying in your graveyard display, or you could put it in a toe pincher coffin. It looks amazing. Hey guys, this is what we have so far. So I've corpsed this entire skeleton, or entire pieces of this skeleton. And the idea here is I'm going to be taking these zip ties, and I'm just simply going to be drilling holes, running the zip ties through. I want this to be very loosey-goosey, kind of the way it moves. I do want to mention here, so I'm still toying with the colors of this. I can't stress this enough. This is mainly going to be a nighttime prop. I mean, it will be out during the day as well, but with proper lighting, being at nighttime, you really have to be careful with the details. This is probably a little bit lighter than what I would normally do. I would tend to, I think, kind of maybe add some more browns or a very light black to this. But I want this to pop. I want you to be able to see these details. I have not done any dry brushing on this. I may go back and do some dry brushing, but I purposely left this light color you can see here as is, but yeah, this is what we have so far. So I'm now going to try and put this together. So all right guys, so this is how it turned out. I did end up adding hair to this. I forgot about the neck piece here, so I am going to have to go back and corpse that as well. Cable ties, guys. This is how I'm going to get the movement out of this. And to cover up those cable ties, I'm probably just going to drape some small creepy cloth over each of those spots. You'll never see it. This is going to be further back in my haunt, and yeah, that won't be noticeable at all, even without the creepy cloth. But yeah, this corpsing, man, it turned out really, really good. It's going to be like my existing Gravepopper, but he's going to have his hands on this stone, and he's going to be, you know, doing one of these deals up and over the top of the tombstone itself. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you may have seen this. This was the original head that I had on this Gravepopper for years. I always called this a Scooby-Doo head because it looks like a Scooby-Doo monster to me. It's awesome. I love it, but I may retire him and possibly turn him into something else down the line eventually. But here's a mechanism that I did come up with for for this to work. As you can see, it's held together by rubber bands and bubble gum, as I like to say, but it works. I'm going to try my best to use this as is and then just attach the skeleton to this. This does have a base that, if you caught my last haunt update video, these two holes here, this goes down on the ground, and that PEX tubing that I use to mount my tombstones, I actually just hammer it down in each of these holes. It's lined up perfectly with the bottom of this tombstone, and this will fit right over there. You won't see the wood base at all, and then you'll have the mechanism back here doing its thing. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to try to get everything attached and hopefully up and running. All right, guys, here's the final product. I am very, very pleased with this. Turned out excellent, in my opinion. It's exactly how I had envisioned it. Did run into some snags, though, I want to talk to you guys about real quick. This is one of them. If you guys have followed my videos, this was the old Gravepopper reindeer motor that I've fixed over the years, and it's shot. I'm done with it. Yeah. So what I ended up doing is I replaced that with a new motor. I actually found my box of reindeer motors. It was kind of the running joke last year. I had an entire box of those. I finally found them, and they were up like in the loft of my shed, of all places. Weird. Anyway, so yeah, we got that up and running. Now, the other thing that I ran into for an issue is that the torque on this reindeer motor isn't quite what it was for the older one. The older one seemed to have a little more power than this one. So what had happened when I hooked this all up, all excited, was that it would hardly lift it up. It's lifting, as it turns, it's lifting the prop up in the air, right? So it has to push it. So it does take a little more of a toll on the motor. So what I did to compensate, I was about to throw in the towel and use a 12-volt wiper motor, which I didn't want to waste a 12-volt wiper motor on this. Check this out, guys. I ended up connecting one of these springs. I don't even know what it's for, like a screen door or something. Just a smaller spring you can get at Home Depot. You know, I messed with it till I sort of got it in the right spot. So it's pulling the prop up in the air. So like resting position is more, you know, up. So now instead of the motor pushing the prop up in the air, in theory, it's really pulling it down. You guys see that? And then the spring is pulling it back up into place. So it worked out well. So yeah, real easy cheat as far as that goes. The other thing too, I think I mentioned earlier, yeah, just throw creepy cloth over where those zip ties are. I mean, look, this is going to be seen from, you know, 20, 25 feet away at nighttime for the most part. So you probably really don't even need that. It's pretty robust. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, guys, I mean, from a distance, even just a few feet back, I will go back probably and corpse that, the neck bone, the top of the spine there. I had forgotten about that until I found it in a box. So I am going to get this in the yard today. I may get video tonight for you guys, but definitely here within the next day or so, you will see this in my next yard haunt update. So yeah, awesome.